Brothers, so we're going to be talking about Moist Critical's latest video called Brainwashing Situation is Crazy. And the reason I want to talk about this is very simple. I don't care that this is a far-left, deranged misinformation hit piece against Trump. I even don't care that Moist Critical called Trump supporters cultists in this video and insulted their intelligence and basically went on this unhinged rant. I don't really care. We've seen this sort of thing for the last 10 years. I don't respect Moist Critical when it comes to politics, so why would I give a shit? But here's what I do care about. Here's what actually offends me about this video. As this video goes live, do you know where Trump is right now? Well, he's on Air Force One. Do you know where he's going? Well, he's currently heading to Israel, specifically to Tel Aviv. Now, why is he doing that? Well, because Trump wants to meet the hostages in person. Oh, did I mention that just the other day, Trump signed a peace agreement between Israel and Hamas? That there is a ceasefire in place and that Israel and Gaza are no longer fighting for the moment? That the so-called genocide is now over? Trump ended the genocide that these people have been bitching about for years. Even though Hamas started it by October 7th, the fact is that right now, there is a ceasefire. Israel is not attacking Hamas. Hamas is not attacking Israel. There is a ceasefire. Oh, and as part of the first step, the hostages are being released. These people that have been in a living hell for the past 2 years, they are seeing freedom for the first time. Trump is on his way to greet them in person, to meet them in person. And what is Moist Critical's video about? It's basically the greatest hits of far-left debunked bullshit propaganda against Trump. The typical brain-dead, anti-Trump, dishonest, regurgitated bullshit for the first 12 minutes. And then Moist Critical does mention the ceasefire for less than 2 minutes in this video, and then goes right back to shitting on Trump. That's my problem with this video. I don't care what Moist Critical's opinion on Trump is. Moist Critical's defense whenever he gets criticism is, I'm not a political commentator. So why would I take any of his political commentary seriously? He's a joke. He basically regurgitates anything that CoffeeZilla says anyway. And CoffeeZilla is a Trump deranged retard that's been discredited in 1,000 different ways too. So why would I care about that? Well, I care about that because of the timing. We are on the verge of one of the most historic peace deals in my lifetime, where Trump has done something that everyone said was impossible. They said, you can't do this. This is not going to be something that happens. And Trump did it. Trump got it done. Biden wouldn't have been able to get this done. Kamala Harris probably would have made it worse by siding with Hamas. I'm being a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but she was a cackling retard. Donald Trump got peace in Gaza and the Middle East. That should be the first and last thing in this 20-minute video, is going over how unbelievable this is. That people are not going to be dying as a result of this decision. There are people who are going to be able to start rebuilding their lives as a result of this. And my heart is so full for these people. And then I see a video like this filled with hate and malice and misinformation and malevolence. And one of the things that was really interesting was Moist Critical went on this rant about how Trump has enriched himself. Him and his family have enriched themselves over this presidency. That is just a blatant out-and-out lie. Do you know for the vast majority of Trump's first term, and in fact, during Biden's term, Trump continuously lost value? He lost money. Always. Repeatedly. And by the way, this is something that you can go and verify for yourself. I'll just briefly show you Grok. Grok laid it out. 2016 pre-inauguration, he was worth $4.5 billion. 2017, early presidency, $3.5 billion. Initial drop of $1 billion post-inauguration due to lost contracts and market reactions. Yeah, basically, people didn't want anything to do with Trump because the media had spent the better part of a year calling him a racist and a bigot and a homophobe and, he's Hitler 2.0. So he lost a lot of contracts. The left was raging. They were very upset. Brands didn't want anything to do with Trump because they were afraid that they were going to get burned down or attacked by far-left agitators. Then Trump continues to lose money, and it says $3.1 billion to $2.1 billion. And as you see, as the years go on, he basically just continuously loses money until October 2025. Now, two things happen. One, Trump made Truth Social. And the revenue that he got from that, the money that he got from that was about $3 billion. It was estimated about $3 billion. And Trump coined. He got a bunch of money. But the idea that Trump had been making money hand over fist during his presidency is a lie. It is an out-and-out lie. And by the way, let me just mention something, Charlie, because you omitted it in your video because you were too busy ranting about Trump. Trump was nearly assassinated twice. 3 times, actually. Trump had, New York, Florida, all of these different broken, criminal, corrupt, left-wing DAs and judges going after him as he was trying to run for president. He was investigated by the FBI. They made up charges for him. This is one of the most clear-cut cases of lawfare that I've ever seen. This man went through absolute hell to get where he is. You don't think there was an easier way for him to make money, you fucking greasy imbecile? You low IQ, Cro-Magnon, shut-in, germaphobe freak? You don't think there would be an easier way to make money? And your biggest point of contention is that Trump sells merchandise that you particularly don't like? Don't you sell soap, Charlie? Don't you sell like cheeky soap? And you're going to berate Trump because he sells cologne? Like, Trump sells cologne and hats and towels and stuff from, like, his days working in the field of the resort. Like, you're really going to get pissed about that? He's selling Trump towels and Trump watches and stuff. You sell cheeky soap. What do you know about comic books, Charlie? You decided to release a comic book, Godfist. What the fuck do you know about comic books? You've never made a comic book before. But you have the money, and you said, this is what I want to do, and then you did it. But you're going to berate Trump for that. And this whole thing is ridiculous. Why are we talking about this bullshit that's been debunked 1,000 times, as opposed to talking about Trump's historic and monumental achievement? Trump was able to bring peace to the Middle East. And yet we're sitting here talking about how Trump fans are cultists because they don't agree with me. They don't agree with me. Hey guys, Moist Critical here, man. Can you believe that these Trump supporters are cultists because they don't agree with me about Trump? Now let me tell you all the misinformation and bullshit that I heard from CoffeeZilla, and let me regurgitate it as if it's my own idea. Charlie, this was an embarrassing video. It was absolutely pathetic. It was beneath you to make. And honestly, I don't know if you got the DM from Hassan. I don't know if it was because you watched CoffeeZilla's video and you were just so angry. You got, oh, good, Trump is so bad. He's selling merch just like me, but when he does it, it's bad. I don't know what your deal is. But this was a humiliating video for you. It was deranged, and the timing of it could not be worse. Because Trump is currently on his way to stop a genocide, as you put it. You call Benjamin Netanyahu a genocidal freak. Right now, the Palestinians and the Israelis are cheering Donald Trump. They are so happy that he ended this. But apparently you're not happy. You're mad. You're very mad at him. Why? He sold cologne. And, he made money. There's insider trading. Do you have any evidence of that? No, of course you don't. Of course, you have no evidence that Trump was calling his friends, all right, guys, all right, look, I'm going to be raising the tariffs on China. I'm going to be raising the tariffs on China, so short the stocks. It's just fucking ridiculous. This is the sort of shit we have to deal with. Trump is a phenomenal president. He's so much better than Biden that honestly, it hurts my brain to think that we elected that corpse into office. But for Moist Critical or anyone else to sit there and make a video like this that is so pathetic, so dishonest, so deranged, so riddled with misinformation on the precipice of this incredible moment, and for you to take 11 minutes to vent your fucking nonsense and then just put in like a minute of, oh yeah, oh again, there's a ceasefire, and then back to shitting on Trump. This whole video should have been about the ceasefire and how amazing it is. Lives are going to be saved. Charlie, is it that you don't think that Trump deserves the credit? Because Benjamin Netanyahu himself said that Trump deserves a Nobel Peace Prize for this. Everyone involved has said that Trump was instrumental in this. So I don't know what your malfunction is. I don't know why you are so brain broken about Trump. Everything that you brought up is either half-truths, misinformation, or just out-and-out propaganda bullshit. You need to get better information if you're going to be talking about politics, brother. It's not good enough that you just went and saw something that CoffeeZilla said, because all I had to do was go to Grok, and it's abundantly clear that you're full of shit. Trump did not make all this money during his first term. Man, he was so rich. Oh, man, he like quadrupled the money he made in his first term. No, he didn't. He lost money every single year. Because the left is an unhinged, deranged terrorist group that masquerades as a political party and made Trump's brand toxic because they would attack anyone that did business with him. Anyway, brothers, I'm not going to take much more of your time, but I'm honestly disappointed in Moist Critical. And by the way, let me end on something positive, okay? Let me end on something positive about Moist Critical. This was a pretty harsh video towards Moist. And I don't like Moist. I don't. I don't think he's a particularly good person. I think that he puts on a facade. But a lot of his left-wing policies lead to making immoral and absolutely indefensible policy positions that he would be okay with. He affirms the LGBTQ. He affirms the transitioning of kids, even though he walked that back. That's initially what was on his brain, that would be perfectly fine. Which I don't think that transitioning people at all is okay. I think that is a form of mental illness that should be treated with compassion, but it should be regarded as mental illness, not affirmed. You wouldn't say, oh, well, you're 18, so your schizophrenia is totally normal, and we're going to affirm, yes, that is a snake that's breathing fire in front of you. No, absolutely fucking not. But what I will say is I do admire the fact that Moist Critical is slightly different than other content creators in that he was willing to criticize Hassan for Hassan shocking his dog, which, by the way, let me play real quick just to refresh your memory in case some of you hadn't seen the clip. I don't know how. But Hassan did shock his dog live on stream.
Of all of America's much more consequential violence, okay? It's the same reason as to why America... Kaya, please just fucking go. Just stop.
Yeah, Hassan has a history of abusing his dog. More and more clips are coming to light. This guy should absolutely be in jail. I mean, what a demented monster this guy is. What a pathetic, putrid monster. Anyway, yeah, I think that Moist Critical calling him out, even if it was in a very gentle and soft way, I think that shows a spine. That's something that Ludwig would never do. So I think that's a huge win. On top of that, Moist Critical did say he was turning off super chats and memberships, and he is a multimillionaire, so I think that is a pretty cool thing. Moist Critical would make money off of ad revenue and his businesses and stuff, and I think that's great that he's like, you know what, I don't need money from people that make probably like $30,000 to $40,000 a year. I don't need them to pay me like $100 or whatever to like have an interaction on stream. I think that's pretty cool. I do. And there are some takes that Moist Critical that I do agree with, like the Pokemon, the Pokemon trading card fights. I mean, that is good content that he does. I think the problem is that when Moist Critical dips his toe into politics, he's a fucking retard, and he's out of his depth. I think that Moist Critical, and this is honest feedback. This is honest feedback. Moist Critical should stay out of politics. He doesn't have the stomach for it. He doesn't have the brains for it. He doesn't have the character for it. Because every time he talks about politics, he knee-jerks into these far-left positions that are just objectively wrong, both morally and intellectually and factually. Anyway, brothers, that's going to do it for today's video. I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for supporting the channel. And you know what? Go show Moist Critical some love. Yeah, that's right. Go show him some love. No, that's not a euphemism. Go show him some support. You know what? The Bible says to pray for your enemies, and I don't consider Moist Critical an enemy. I just consider him wrong on this issue. Go show him some support. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. See you next time.